Hey, welcome back to my channel. I am Monica of Millie and Monica over on the Poshmark app where I am a full-time seller, and today I have another What Sold video. This is a little bit different because it's going to be my sales over a 2-day time period, so June 22nd and June 23rd, which was a Saturday and a Sunday. And the reason I'm sharing the sales for these 2 days, which I don't typically do, I generally just do What Sold Fast videos, but I'm sharing this because I had really good sales during these 2 days. And to be honest, May and June, so about 6 weekends, 6 weeks worth of sales have been really slow, much slower than normal. So I had a pretty good weekend in my opinion. It definitely is just my opinion. I am a full-time seller. So this is kind of what I would expect to see for weekend sales. Maybe even a little higher than what a normal weekend would be. So to give you an idea, I have about 1,000 active listings in my Poshmark closet. I try to keep it around that number, and I try to list between 60 and 100 items a week, and that can include relisting. So this past week, I think I listed 54 new items and relisted 26. So a total listing of 80 items being listed in my Poshmark closet this past week. And yeah, so over the weekend I sold 17 items or had 17 sales. There was a bundle in there. So I'm just gonna walk through some of these. Some of them were quick sales, but some of them were really surprising to me, and I'll talk to you a little bit about those as well when we get to them. So if that sounds interesting to you, please make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, and of course, give this video a thumbs up on your way out if you enjoy this type of content. Okay, so the first thing that sold Saturday, and I'm gonna kind of go and order from Saturday morning and then go into Sunday. So the first thing that sold for the weekend was this pair of Doc Martens lace-up like combat boots. I always talk about Doc Martens. I always pick them up when I can, and I will even pay up for them because they sell well. And this pair sold for $50 via offer from the customer. And so because I did pay up a little bit for this pair, it wasn't a huge profit, but it still was for me. And something else I should mention is I don't really want to take the time to go into, how much I paid and, all of that. So you can do the math. Poshmark does take 20%, and then once in a while I will make sales via offer to liker, which is when I offer a shipping discount, and I always just offer the small shipping discount of $1.80. So, you can do that math if you want to, but I just want to share what actually sold, and then you can kind of make a determination for yourself if that would be something you would want to pick up. So, okay, second thing that sold Saturday is this Cloth and Stone chambray shirt, and it was like a button down, pretty basic. Was a size medium. It sold for $16 via offer to liker, so the shipping discount was on that one. Next thing was this black leather belt. It was a thinner belt, and it also sold for $16, but that was via customer offer. And then we are on to a J. Crew factory mini chambray dress. It was a size large, and I've had this for a while. I think I picked it up a few months ago when it was kind of out of season. But it was I should say J. Crew factory if I didn't say that already, but it sold for $12 via customer offer. Not a huge profit there, but chambray items always get a lot of interest and always sell, so I do pick them up regardless of whether or not someone might think they're a good flip item. To me, I just like having the sales, and I like getting that interest, and a lot of times I actually see chambray items go in bundles, so again, I pick them up. The next one was a surprising sale because it seemed really out of season. But it was this vintage plaid prairie like style midi dress, so longer dress, long sleeves plaid. And I thought it was neat when I picked it up. It has gotten some interest, and it just seemed like an out of season sale. So it did get some likes over the weekend, and I sent out offers to likers, and it sold for $23 via offer to liker. This next pair of Levi's was not a vintage pair. So I think oftentimes I share vintage Levi's that have sold. This was not a pair of vintage Levi's, but they sold for $28 via offer to liker. They were just a really basic pair of Levi's, but they were a smaller size, and I like picking up smaller size Levi's because I feel like they're harder to find. And so again, this was an item that had a lot of attention and then sold for that $28. Next would be this Vera Bradley like tote bag. It was, you know, Vera Bradley is kind of like a quilted fabric bag, and for the longest time I did not pick up Vera Bradley. I think at one point I was looking up a bunch of Vera Bradley comps, and at the price point that I could have purchased the item compared to the sold, I wasn't that impressed, so I just had avoided picking up Vera Bradley. However, recently in the past like month or so, I picked up a couple and they've sold quickly and for a decent amount. And so this one sold for $25 via customer offer. I actually really like this print, and so I will continue to pick up Vera Bradley if it's in good condition and maybe a more unique print. So next was this vintage sweater. It was kind of blocky. The customer had put it in a bundle, and I sent her like a little comment, and I also sent her an offer of $14 because I have had it listed for quite a while, and she countered with 7, and I was just in the mindset of sales generate sales, and so I accepted it and moved on and moved that piece of old inventory. Very small profit, but that sometimes happens, and that's just okay. Next, so now we're moving into Sunday. So the sweater was the last sale on Saturday. Now we're moving into Sunday sales. Sunday morning, I woke up to 3 offers, but I only accepted 1, and that was this Anthropologie Maeve Paris London blouse. Is a button down, kind of a novelty print. It was a size 0, and someone had offered me $22, and I accepted that. Now, the reason I say I only accepted 1 is because I accepted another, but there was a payment issue, and we'll come back to that later. And then the last one, I countered, and we'll get to that in a little bit as well. Okay, so my second sale then, Sunday morning, was this bundle, and it was this really unique dress that had been painted by an artist with this tulip design, and I thought it was just really cool. And apparently someone else did too, because I listed it last week and it sold over the weekend. And it sold in a bundle with this Jessica Simpson dress. It was really pretty. And so the customer on that deal had been asking me questions about the painted dress. And at one point I did send an offer to like her. And she had messaged me in the bundle asking what I could do for the 2 dresses. So I sent her an offer for $30. I had had the Jessica Simpson dress for a long time, and based on what I had paid for those 2 items, I felt like $30 was a great deal for her, and it still was a great profit for me. So that's what I sent on that bundle, and she accepted it. So $30 for the bundle. Next is this pair. Oh, so cool. They were this like pair of 90s pink linen overalls. Now, I feel like they're so trendy right now. You see these like linen kind of jumpsuits all over. And so when I found this and they were vintage, I picked them up right away. They were a vintage Chadwick's actually, so that was the brand. And so I listed them, and very quickly I had a lot of interest, and I woke up to that offer for $15. I had them listed, I think, at 30, 35-ish. So someone had offered 15, and so I countered with 25. And then she later came back with 20, and I accepted 20 because I just want to see things move, and that was a good profit margin for me, so I accepted it. I do think I could have gotten more, but oh well. Okay, so next is this pair of Clark's Artisan leather heels. This was a pair I think I listed last fall, and I've definitely relisted them. It's been a while since they've been relisted, and so I was getting a lot of likes. I always get a lot of likes on Clark's because they are a comfortable quality shoe. They were a size 7.5. I sent out an offer on a like for $30, and it was accepted, so it was $30 sale via offer to liker. Next would be this pair of vintage Bill Blass high-rise like denim mom jeans, and they sold for $20 via customer offer. I know I have talked about this in other videos, but I feel like I definitely get more for my vintage jeans in the winter months. I think in the summer people want to cut them into shorts, and so they're not wanting to invest as much, and that's fine. Okay, so next would be this Chico's blouse. So this one, it surprised me as well because I've had this for quite a while. It was in my relisting video where I had actually pulled it from my inventory. I had re-photographed it, modeling it the second go around, and it's been relisted for a couple months already, or a few months, and it just wasn't moving. New with tags, this beautiful cold shoulder. There was some leopard and cheetah print and floral print. It was just so pretty, and I could not believe it was not moving. So someone liked it over the weekend, and I was like, I am going to sell this. So I sent out what I thought was a really reasonable offer considering it was new with tags and in great condition. So I sent out an offer of $20 and that was accepted. So it was the $20 via offer to like or sale. So next pair of jeans was in a Gold jean. They were also new with tags. This was a retail arbitrage piece, so I did pick this up at a retail store on sale, and so I did pay up for this pair of jeans. I wanted to test out this brand. I'd heard a lot about it, so when I found them, I certainly was ready to try something new or a new brand. They got a lot of attention, but not a lot of interest, so I actually relisted them pretty recently, and I relisted them at a little bit lower price point. So I got a $40 offer on this pair of jeans from the customer, and I countered with 55, and then she asked me a couple questions and then countered with 50, and then I accepted the $50 offer. And so it was a smaller profit for me. I got to test out the brand and give it a feel. I think I would pick up a Gold again. I would just like to pick it up for a little less than what I spent on them originally. So yeah, that was a good learning experience. So 2 more sales for Sunday, and then we're just moseying right through these. So my next sale was this Free People maxi dress. So I think it's called the Garden Party dress, and it was long floral black. The top was smocked, had tie shoulders. So a very popular dress. I've definitely seen it on different bloggers wearing it and showing it off. But so this is kind of a little bit of a story. Last summer, I picked up 3 of these exact dresses. They were all size small. They're very stretchy because of the smocked material and very flowy, so definitely could have fit a variety of sizes. So originally I listed all 3 together in the same listing because on Poshmark you can select the quantity and, say I have 3 of them. So originally I listed all 3 in one listing, and they were getting quite a bit of attention. I don't feel like they were overpriced. But I feel like there probably was a lot available on Poshmark. So they didn't sell last summer. Okay, so I relisted them, which I do often. I talk about this often. And when I relisted, I only relisted 1 of them. So instead of doing the multiple quantity listing, I only relisted 1. So when the first one then sold, I listed another one. And so this was the second one that I had listed. And again, getting a lot of attention, kept it below that or at that $50 mark so that if people were categorizing or searching by price, it would fall into kind of the lower price range. Again, lots of attention. It was actually in several people's bundles last week, and still no one was biting. So, I was sending out offers and everything on this beautiful dress. And finally, I sent out an offer for $35 and someone purchased it. So $35 via offer to liker, and I have 1 more left to list, and I will be listing that soon because it is a beautiful dress. I'm hoping with this warmer weather that we're now starting to see that I can move it yet this summer and be done with them. I think, I would probably pick it up again in the future, but I would definitely adjust my pricing expectations because I do think this style was probably just oversaturated on Poshmark, and maybe just people aren't looking for it as much. Okay, and the very last item, I said that I had accepted an offer when I woke up Sunday morning and that payment was declined. So this last sale happened later in the evening, and it was that item. It was a Coach bag, this floral. I thought it was beautiful, especially for summer, spring and summer, and someone sent me an offer for $78. I had accepted, but payment was declined. So I waited a few hours after that original decline, and I just looked up the potential customer and I added it to a bundle because she hadn't done that yet. So I added it to a bundle and I just sent her a little message and I said, hi, thank you so much for your offer. I accepted, but your payment was declined. And I do this often if payment is declined because I think a lot of times people aren't super active on the app, and you can kind of tell when a buyer is not very active on the app, and maybe they put in an offer and they think their payment is, good, but somewhere along the line maybe they got a new card or maybe their card expired and etc. And they just forget about it and they don't check back. So I always try to reach out and just let them know, like, hey, I did accept, but payment was an issue. So several hours had gone by and I received a message back from her, and we just exchanged a couple more messages, and I just told her, I've tried to accept, but I think on your end you need to update your payment information. And so she did, and the payment went through and the purchase did go through. So that was I guess just a really great learning experience. I do this often, but maybe it's something that you can start doing if you have issues with payment, because again, a lot of times I don't think people are as active on the app as maybe us sellers, and they just kind of forget about certain things. So yeah, that was the 17 sales from the weekend. And I think I forgot to mention in the beginning, oh my goodness. So I titled this video $500 in sales in 2 days, and it was actually $482 in sales, gross sales. So before Poshmark fees, my sales for the 2 days were $482. So yes, I rounded up, and I was going to tell you that at the beginning. I'm so sorry. But anyways, I hope you're not too mad at me for rounding up. It was $482 gross sales for the 2 days, which again, was one of the best weekends I had in a long time. Definitely some quicker sales, and then some really surprising sales, things that had been listed for quite a while. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and of course, please subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And of course, as always, I will see you next time.